Yo, yo, yo. Wow, man. We are back in the building. Let's see, man. It's your boy Demarcus Duhart. Sorry, audio technical difficulties, but I want to ask you guys, have you ever wondered how to begin streaming but just did not know how to get started? What have you been watching in the VA? Do you know about Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal? Well, today he's going to introduce some of his investing strategies. So if you want to know about investing, you're in the perfect place today, guys. This is perfect. Let's go right into what he's talking about, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Sound good, don't it? Let's go into one of his videos, man, about him talking about investing and unveiling one of his strategies right now, man. Let's go. Let's see what he's talking about, guys. And I'm guessing this is one of his streams or his podcast that he got going on. Let's see what he's talking about.
Welcome to the break room. Today we're talking about investing.
You can work what, like 12, 14 hours a day, and that's a long day, but your money can work 24/7, nonstop, and investing is how I'm gonna be able to retire at 40, fingers crossed, not actually just working and trying to make as much money as I can right now.
You know, people always come to me for investing advice, and I told them, I said, first of all, you have to know what you're investing in.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared of stuff. I'm scared. I need guidance.
scared?
Yeah, I need guidance when it comes to
On
that.
stocks, yeah, I'm kind of like that too. Unless
You
it's
never know.
Yeah, so
unless
you
it's
guys
somebody I
got to
know,
understand.
somebody I trust.
I can kind of relate.
Shaquille O'Neal is technically he's a basketball player, NBA Hall of Famer, all that. He's a basketball player, but he's showing you guys that he's also needs help with investing. Like just like me, when I started investing, I didn't know. I went to YouTube University. I started learning from different mentors. I started investing in different mentors, and at the same time, they start giving me a breaking step and strategy on how to actually invest, man. So Shaq is breaking down that he also needed help, guys. So you just don't be ashamed of not knowing how to invest.
To that mentality of coming from like really humble beginnings and almost being afraid of like, I'm gonna lose this money or it won't be enough. My parents came from very humble beginnings. My dad, his first job in America was as a field worker and then a dishwasher. The very first home that he lived in, mind you, there was like 10 brothers and siblings living in one house. They all came together with the salary of dishwashers and put the money together and bought the home. And what happened? That house appreciated, and so they were able to sell it, and then everyone got a small cut. With that small cut, my dad then got a couple more of his brothers, and they bought a fourplex. Again, it went up in value, they sold it, and they kept doing that. And to me, it's crazy because they were dishwashers. So whenever people say like, I don't make enough money or et cetera, it's like, you might be uncomfortable. You might have to sleep on the floor. You might have to share a room, but it is definitely possible to stay in that long game and turn money around.
I got one big mistake, and it's a mistake I'll never make again. I hire financial advisors. They're boring. Like, yo, I don't want to do this boring stuff. I want to see the big investment.
And that's true, guys. Like, realize that a lot of the different people or immigrants, they're coming here from different countries in America, but at the same time, they're holding traditional values. That's how we started Americans, and they know how to work together. And when they know how to work together, 3 or 4 of them can live in one house and also build wealth that way. That's one way to invest as well. It's more like a family investing, but that's a different type of investing as well. It's investing in family and living with each other as far as building wealth. So what she said about her uncles and her dad, they lived together until they built their money up. That's actually a great strategy that I've seen going on.
I want to see where my 100,000 is going to turn into 350 overnight. And so I kind of went against the grain of what, their philosophy was. And I put a lot of money into an idea that a friend had, and I ended up losing all of that. I ended up losing all of that money. And that's one thing I learned is like, just stick to the basics. It don't have to be sexy. Like, they're the basics for a reason. It's not by accident, right? And so thinking that I knew more than the professionals that are helping me do this, I ain't never gonna make that mistake again.
I used to see this rich guy, really rich, older, 80, old Rolls Royce and I asked him, I said, how? And he taught me a word I never heard. He said, Shaq, you need to invest in an annuity. And I never knew what it was. And I looked it up because
Annuity, guys. These annuity funds shift investment risk from the investor to an insurance company. You pay the company premium for a period of time, and then the company begins paying you. Wow, that's what an annuity is. We're gonna deep dive into it, but that's basically.
I was making so much money from commercials and all, I didn't know what to do with it. And he's like, yeah, all this money you're making, if you put it away, you can invest it and you can start collecting at 50, 60, and 70. So that was my greatest investment.
Don't be afraid to spend it. I've learned that. You know, don't be afraid to spend it on the right thing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, that's just the investing side. A lot of people are afraid, oh man, I gotta put the money on this house. How long is it gonna take? It's gonna take 12 months. Man, I don't wanna wait that long. I don't know how much it get back. Patience is the key when it comes to this stuff.
Everybody's biggest question for me, they're like, what stock should I invest in right now? Because as a finance expert, they're like, oh, you must know. You have to have the secret. No. Even when I worked on Wall Street, I would watch these hedge funds blow up overnight because they made bad calls and they put all their money into a couple things and they were wrong. And when you've got billions of dollars of technology and you still mess it up, it goes to show sometimes investing in something that's not sexy, like a target date retirement fund or an index fund, is probably a more reliable bet, and you don't have to work nearly as hard to try and find the perfect thing, because it doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Shout out to the general, man. Shout out, man, to Shaq, guys. Shout out to Shaq, man. We love you. We love you. We love you, man. Fair use. Like I said, realize that you guys, there's so many different investment strategies, but you gotta get invested now. You gotta start putting in your money now and start understanding that, you know, the longer you wait, the worse it is. So let's deep dive into what exactly is an annuity. Let's find out what an annuity is, guys. So
we'll take that premium and invest it. Maybe in the stock market, maybe in the bond market, or probably both. Generally, the insurance companies tend to focus on fairly safe investment type. Some might even call it a type of insurance.
Yep.
So here's how it works. Let's imagine that we are an investor who wants to go ahead and buy an annuity. As investors in annuities, they might also call us an annuitant or an annuity owner. So here's what we need to know as far as the basics of annuities. So we go to an insurance company to buy an annuity, and we're going to have to pay the insurance company for this annuity. They call this payment the premium. We can look at this as our initial investment. The insurance company will take that premium and invest it. Maybe in the stock market, maybe in the bond market, or probably both. Generally, the insurance companies tend to focus on fairly safe investments. But either way, they're going to invest it. So as the annuity investment account grows, at some point, payments are going to be made to us, but how much? Well, there are a few key factors that will determine how much we will receive as the annuity owners. First, how much time can the insurance company invest the money before we expect to receive payments? Let's imagine two scenarios. In scenario one, we want to start receiving payments as soon as possible. They call this an immediate annuity. And in scenario two, we want to receive payments in 25 years when we retire. This is called a deferred annuity. So clearly, the payments that we will get as the annuity owner, if we defer 25 years, should be higher than if we start receiving payments soon.
Wow.
Since the insurance company can invest our initial annuity premium for longer. By the way, this money will grow tax-free for us until we start receiving payments from our annuity. Another consideration for both scenarios affect how the payments are determined. First, we can receive a fixed payment, which means that the annuity investor will receive a payment that stays the same every month or every quarter or every year. The frequency is our choice. Or we can go with a variable annuity. With a variable annuity, the payments made to the annuity owner will change, generally based on some underlying factor. Maybe the annuity is tied to an index like the S&P 500, or an interest rate like the 10-year U.S. Treasury rate. Really, it could be tied to anything, but we will know what it's tied to at the start of the annuity before we buy it. Now, the next question is, how many payments will we get? Well, there are a few choices here. Perhaps we are utilizing this annuity for retirement, and we want the payments to begin when we're 65, and we want the payments to last until we pass away.
So guys, you see that annuity is basically like a form of insurance, guys. An annuity is a form of insurance, and that is the strategy that Shaq uses. Do I use that personally? I don't use annuities. You know, I invest in S&P 500. I invest in the stock market, and that's what I teach you guys on this channel. But I also want to teach you guys a lot of different investment strategies. So shout out to Shaq for doing that, guys. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. But this guy's cooking right here with the annuities, man. And I appreciate that, man. Shout out to Learn to Invest.
Well, in this scenario, the insurance company will determine our life expectancy and will tell us the amount of each of our payments, assuming it's a fixed payment. Now, that payment will be much higher if we go for the advanced life deferred annuity. And in that scenario, we don't start getting payments until we are, let's say, 85 years old. And this makes sense if we think about it. First, the insurance company will expect to make fewer payments to us. And second, they're going to have the money even longer to invest. Therefore, the investment account can continue to grow. Another choice is for us to pick a certain term. Maybe we need payments every month for 5 years or 10 years or whatever we might choose. So as we could see, an annuity has a lot of choices, and they're very customizable from situation to situation. So are annuities a good investment? Well, they can be a great investment if they suit our needs well, but there are a few things that we should be aware of. First, oftentimes annuities come with higher fees.
A lot of fees.
Perhaps the fee from an annuity itself is low. Maybe it's just 10 basis points, which would be the same as 0.1% on an annual basis. But many times there will also be investment management fees. Perhaps there's an insurance fee or some other benefits fee. It really depends on the situation. Often, the more we customize it, the higher the fees. At the end of the day, annuities can be beneficial since they have no investment limits like traditional retirement accounts, but they often come at the expense of higher fees. So if annuities are something you're interested in, be sure to shop around. Try to compare the fees. Try to understand where the return on investment is going to come from and what insurance company is offering them. Many annuities are not government-backed, so if the insurance company goes under, well, that could hurt us in a serious way. Plus, many annuities cannot be closed early without incurring huge fees. So that should be considered as well. On the flip side, a well-executed annuity provides many people with the consistent payments that they need to provide them with the stability they've always wanted.
See that, and that's why I think that that's why I believe that Shaq invests in annuities, because he makes so much money that he needs someone to just manage his fund, manage his investments right away, man. And that's what's up, man. I'm glad that he's investing his money. Man, Shaq makes a lot of money off of his investments, guys. Y'all guys think that Shaq just played basketball and then all of a sudden was just a regular guy. No. Shaquille O'Neal has a lot of investments. He makes a lot of money off of the stock market and different things he's invested in. Guys, it's crazy. You know, you would think that just being a basketball player or an elite athlete, that sometimes that you would just blow your money. And I believe that he's blew his money before. But that's not the right thing to do, guys. You don't want to go blow your money. You want to be able to invest your money the right way. So that's something to always know, where to invest your money. You can invest your money quickly. You can invest your money fast, as long as you're still thinking in that mindset. So, guys,